We are still in Parkwood in Coventry, and if you're still watching, thank you very much. Paddling my way through a bit of mud here and down past another fallen tree. I do think I'm getting extra exercise marching through this mud, because it takes a lot more to lift your foot up out of a mud than it does just walking on solid ground. Wow, look at those trees down over there with all the snow on them. They're quite effective, aren't they? Look at this. Lovely shapes covered in snow. Quite a lot of trees down, I think probably from the gales over the last few years. They leave them there often because it means the birds can peck at the grubs that form in the wood once they start to rot. Well, I love these woods. It's just superb being out here in the cold, but in the fresh air. So much nicer than see a robin and a blackbird down there stirring up the ground looking for worms and bugs. He's gone under the holly tree now. Slipping and sliding. I think we'll go back up this side here now. I came along through that way yesterday, but we'll go back up this way, I think. Well, if you've subscribed, I want to thank you so much. You've made an old gentleman very happy. And if you haven't, I hope you will. And please like, share and subscribe and ring the bell. And there we are, I've said that bit now, we can forget it at the end. So I want to thank you also for the lovely kind comments that I have from some of you. That's very encouraging and very nice. But I'm just pleased that you watch. So I hope you're all staying safe and well today. I was hearing this morning that mixing the vaccines for COVID gives an even better response. So it's interesting to note what injection we may get a different one for our second one. So they're learning things all the while. And from what I heard, we're going to have to live with this virus. And like flu, we are quite possibly going to be having an annual jab for a top up to the latest variant. They're saying, of course, I was listening to a scientist on there this morning, that it's only a month or two to tweak the virus to cover the new variants. So presumably by the summer, some people could be having a slightly different jab to the ones we had. So haven't seen anybody in the woods this morning. I usually see one or two dog walkers, as you know from other videos, but I haven't seen any today. Squelch, squelch. Can you hear the mud? Ah. Well, one day I would love to get back to Cuba, actually. It was a wonderful place we stayed at. Well, I say we stayed at, we actually went all round Cuba and saw all the various places. We were actually had special lessons with top salsa dancers. It didn't have a marked effect on us, but I think when we were dancing with them, it must have had a marked effect on them. Yeah, a very smart young couple were teaching us to salsa, but it was the fun of it that mattered. We made a mess of it, and they were very encouraging. But we stayed at one place which was all inclusive, and I still remember the flamingos. No, I'm telling you wrong, not flamingos. Pelicans were diving down at a beautiful blue sea, and they were diving down catching fish between the swimmers. So there you are, swimming away, and suddenly a big splash not far from you, and a pelican goes down and comes up with a beak full of fish. They go down at one heck of a rate. But the thing I remember about it was the blueness of the sea. It was absolutely blue. Now I know it's reflections and all the rest of it, but it looked absolutely blue and beautiful. Unfortunately, there was a bar not far from the beach, and being all inclusive, when you got a bit too hot, you went and ordered a Cuba Libre, and yeah, cocktails were the order of the day, and it was they were very tasty too. We loved Cuba. Music comes out of every building, it seems, and we went there also to a incredible cabaret type show, and you can actually see that if you look up my Cuba videos. You can actually see the show, and at the end of it we were invited to go up on stage and dance with all the young people who were performing in the show, which was something special, very, very enjoyable. I'm trying to think of the name of the club. I can't think of it at the moment, but when we got there we were given champagne, a small bottle of rum, a flower for the lady and a cigar for me, which I think I gave away when we got home. Not being a smoker, although I do love the smell of a cigar, I have to be honest. Well, we're nearly back to where we started now on the previous video, so the club that we went to for this cabaret was not cheap, but I remember thinking, oh, that's expensive, but it really was worthwhile. We were staying in Havana at the time. We had to get a taxi there, but we shared it with a friend who was going to the same, her and her husband were going to the same thing, so we went together and got the taxi cost. It's a beautiful country, Cuba. We actually went on it's called the Revolutionary Tour, and we had a look where Che Guevara and all of them lived in the mountains. We looked at their makeshift, well, quite a good makeshift hospital, and we went and overlooked Guantanamo Bay, where waterboarding and other tortures went on, sadly. And we saw lots and lots of things. We went right to the end of the island. We didn't do the northern end as much,